You have $12 left, and payday is 5 days away. Your card gets declined at the grocery store, and your face burns. Now imagine $10,000 just sitting quietly in your account. Most people think that number would only pay off some debt, but it does something far stranger to your brain and your habits. The moment you hit 10,000, your whole nervous system changes. You stop flinching every time your phone buzzes with a notification. You start making decisions from calm instead of pure panic. One number rewires how you sleep, spend, and even argue. Here is exactly what changes the day you cross 10,000. Right now, you might feel like saving anything is impossible. Rent, groceries, gas, they eat every single dollar you earn. Today, you're learning what really happens after you hit 10,000. Not just the math, but the actual shift inside your daily life. $10,000 is the number where stress starts losing its grip. It changes your sleep, your spending, and how you handle emergencies. It even changes how confident you feel making decisions about money. I'm going to walk you through exactly what shifts and why. This isn't theory, it's the real pattern behind every saver's story. Let's start with why this exact number matters so much. Researchers call $10,000 the point where money stress drops. Below that line, every emergency feels like a 5-alarm fire. Above that line, your brain finally has room to think clearly. It's not about being rich, it's about having enough breathing room. 10,000 covers most surprise bills without wrecking your entire month. That safety cushion changes how your body reacts to bad news. Your heart rate literally drops when you know you're covered. This number isn't random. It's where real financial calm begins. Most people never reach it because they never see the shift coming. Once you understand why it matters, everything else gets easier. Before you hit that number, every payday feels like starting over. You check your balance constantly, terrified of what you'll find. One car repair or hospital bill can wipe out an entire month. Credit cards become the emergency fund you never actually chose. You say yes to overtime just to stay one step ahead. Sleep gets harder because your mind keeps running the same numbers. Small pleasures feel like guilt because nothing is truly extra. You compare yourself to people who never explain their calm. That comparison quietly wears down your confidence every single day. This is the exact starting point $10,000 fixes. Then, one day, your savings app shows 5 digits instead of 4. You stare at the screen, half expecting it to be a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's months of small deposits finally adding up. Something in your chest loosens that you didn't even know was tight. You realize you haven't checked your balance out of fear today. For the first time, a bill doesn't trigger that familiar panic. You notice you're breathing slower just reading your bank statement. This is the exact moment your relationship with money starts changing. Nobody warns you how quiet and undramatic this moment actually feels. But quiet as it is, everything after this point moves differently. The first thing that changes after 10,000 is your sleep. You stop replaying your bank balance the moment your head hits the pillow. 3 a.m. money spirals slowly become a thing of your past. Your body finally gets the rest it was fighting for all along. Deeper sleep means sharper decisions during every single day that follows. You wake up without that familiar knot sitting in your stomach. Mornings stop starting with dread about what today's mail might bring. This isn't magic, it's simply your nervous system finally exhaling. Stress hormones drop when your brain knows there's a cushion underneath. Better sleep becomes the quiet reward nobody tells you about. The next shift happens the moment something actually goes wrong. Your car breaks down, but this time your hands don't shake. You open the savings app instead of opening a new credit card. The repair gets paid, and your month continues completely undisturbed. What used to be a crisis becomes a simple line item. You stop dreading phone calls from doctors, mechanics, and landlords. Bad news still happens, but it no longer controls your whole week. This is the real power of $10,000 sitting ready. It doesn't stop bad things from happening to your life, it just stops them from destroying everything else around them. Your conversations about money start changing without you even noticing. You stop joking nervously every time a bill comes up. Friends start asking how you suddenly seem so much calmer. You talk about saving instead of only talking about surviving. Money stops being a source of shame in every conversation. You start giving small pieces of advice instead of complaints. Your partner notices arguments about money happen far less often. Financial conversations start becoming planning sessions instead of panic sessions now. You feel proud saying a number out loud instead of hiding it. This shift in language reflects a much deeper shift underneath. Once the cushion exists, your spending habits start changing too. You stop panic buying things just to feel a moment of control. Retail therapy loses its grip once real security replaces that need. You notice the urge to shop when stressed slowly fading away. Purchases start coming from planning instead of pure emotional impulse. You pause before buying, asking if you actually need this today. That pause alone saves more money than any coupon ever could. Impulse purchases start feeling uncomfortable instead of instantly satisfying like before. Your cart gets smaller while your bank balance keeps climbing steadily. This isn't willpower, it's simply having less to run from. You start asking sharper questions before every single purchase you make. Does this actually improve my life, or just distract me for now? Could this money grow instead of disappearing into something forgettable? These questions take seconds, but they change your entire month. You start comparing purchases against your future instead of your mood. Sales and discounts stop pulling you in the way they used to. You see through marketing that used to trigger instant impulse buying. Every dollar starts feeling like a decision instead of a reflex. This shift alone can save hundreds of dollars every single month. It's not restriction, it's simply spending with your eyes wide open. With clearer spending, old debt finally starts getting real attention. You look at interest rates instead of ignoring the statement entirely. Extra dollars start attacking your highest interest debt first, automatically. Forgotten subscriptions get cancelled the moment you actually review them. Streaming services, apps, and memberships lose their quiet grip on you. Every cancelled subscription becomes a few more dollars working for you. Your debt balance starts shrinking instead of slowly creeping upward. Watching that number drop becomes strangely more satisfying than shopping. This is the compounding effect of confidence meeting real strategy. Debt stops feeling permanent once you have momentum on your side. Now that 10,000 exists, where it sits actually matters. Leaving it in a regular checking account wastes its real potential. A high-yield savings account pays you just for holding it. That single move can earn hundreds of extra dollars every year. Part of that cushion can stay liquid for true emergencies only. The rest can start working harder in long-term investments. Index funds let your money grow without constant daily attention. You don't need to pick stocks or watch charts all day. Simple, boring, consistent investing beats exciting guessing almost every time. Where your money lives decides how hard it works for you. This is where compounding quietly starts doing the heavy lifting. Compounding simply means your money starts earning money on its own. $10,000 growing at market average roughly doubles in a decade. You didn't work an extra hour, yet your money kept growing. Time matters more than timing when compounding is doing its work. The earlier that 10,000 starts working, the bigger the result. Small, consistent additions on top accelerate the entire growth curve. Your future self quietly thanks you for every dollar left untouched. This is the exact mechanism behind almost every wealthy household. It's not luck, it's patience combined with a little bit of math. Once compounding starts, it builds momentum like a rolling snowball. Small gains start adding onto themselves month after quiet month. Your net worth chart stops looking flat and starts curving upward. Every dollar saved now becomes several dollars saved down the road. This snowball effect is exactly why starting early matters so much. Waiting even a single year can cost you thousands down the line. The snowball doesn't care how you feel. It just keeps rolling. You start checking your net worth instead of just your paycheck. That single change in focus reshapes how you make every decision. This is how $10,000 quietly becomes so much more. Money isn't the only thing that changes after you hit 10,000. Your relationships start shifting in ways nobody really warns you about. Arguments about money with your partner start happening far less often. You stop hiding purchases or lying about what things actually cost. Financial honesty becomes easier once fear stops driving every conversation. desperation. Friends start trusting your advice because you finally sound calm. You stop resenting friends who seem to have their finances together. Family emergencies stop creating tension about who has to pay. You can help without secretly panicking about your own situation. Security with money quietly becomes security in your closest relationships. Your career choices start changing once fear stops running the show. You stop staying in jobs purely because you're scared to leave. Negotiating a raise feels possible instead of terrifying and impossible. You can walk away from unfair situations without panicking about rent. That leverage alone can be worth more than the $10,000 itself. You start taking calculated risks instead of avoiding every single one. A side project or new skill suddenly feels worth the time. Confidence at work often traces back to confidence in your bank account. People notice the shift before you even explain what changed. Financial security quietly becomes professional security without you even trying. Your relationship with the future itself starts to feel different. You stop avoiding thoughts about retirement, buying a home, or aging. Long-term goals stop feeling like fantasies reserved for someone else. You start picturing a version of life that actually feels possible. Planning 5 years ahead stops feeling pointless or slightly ridiculous. You make decisions today with tomorrow actually in the picture. Fear of the future slowly gets replaced by simple curiosity. You start asking what's next instead of just what's urgent. This shift in mindset outlasts the original $10,000 completely. Money bought you something far bigger than money itself: perspective. Let's bring this all back together into one simple picture. $10,000 changes your sleep, your stress, and your body. It changes how you handle emergencies without falling apart completely. It changes how you talk about money with the people around you. It changes your spending, pulling you away from impulse and panic. It changes where your money lives and how hard it works. It changes your relationships, your career, and how you see tomorrow. None of this happens because you suddenly became a different person. It happens because one number gave your brain room to breathe. That's the real story behind every single one of these changes. So here's exactly how you get to that number yourself. Start by tracking every dollar you spend for just 1 month. You can't fix what you're not honestly willing to look at. Next, automate a fixed amount moving into savings every single payday. Even $50 a week adds up faster than you expect. Cancel subscriptions you forgot existed and redirect that money towards savings. Put unexpected money, refunds, bonuses, and gifts straight into that account. Open a high-yield savings account so your cash actually earns something. Increase your saving rate slightly every time your income goes up. Consistency beats intensity. Small deposits repeated always win in the end. You don't need a perfect plan to start moving toward $10,000. You need one small, boring, repeatable action you can start today. Open a savings account right now before you close this video. Move whatever small amount you can into it immediately, even $5. That single action is more powerful than waiting for the perfect moment. $10,000 doesn't just sit in an account doing nothing. It sits underneath every calm decision you're about to make. It's not about being rich. It's about finally feeling steady. Somewhere between panic and peace, there's a number waiting for you. Go find your $10,000. Your whole life is waiting.